What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Trip at Tripdomus on Twitter. Before I get into anything else, I gotta shout out everybody who followed me on the first video. It's highly appreciated. We nearly got 100 subscribers off one video, and we're trying to keep going up. So before we proceed, go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Turn me up. So today, I want to talk about a certain pirate. And no, I'm not on no snitching to the government shit like Shanks, but I want to talk about the pirate hunter, Mosshead, King of Hell, race war general. You know who I'm talking about. Noah Zoro. Or Zoro if you're like weird, right? So, like, as the first member of the Straw Hat crew, we've seen Zoro go through a lot. We've seen him get folded by Mihawk, get folded by Kuma, and get folded by Big Mama Akainu. He's basically like the rawest laundry in One Piece, like GOAT level laundry. But recently, he's been acting kind of different. I want to take a look at his time on the rooftop with the other four Supernova fighting against Kaido and Big Mom. Now, when he used Ashura on Kaido and ended up scarring this man permanently, and Kaido, you know, it didn't do too much to him, but he commended him. He showed him some respect, and I thought that was the end of Zoro for the arc. Honestly, I thought that was all he had. Like, this man goes off the rooftop, he gets bandaged up like they literally put him in a pack, like Boo was in a cross blank, and they look like Pineapple Express. Like, you look like you see Seth Rogen smoking them on Instagram or something. And I'm like, it's no way he's doing anything else. Like, it's quiet, wrap it up. But I was wrong. It's crazy. He got up, and the way he gets up, it's like, I don't even know how to describe this drug he gets. It's like a perk 1,000. It's like a, you know what I'm saying? It's like a perk 52 million he gets from Chopper and the other furries on Wano. Not only does it allow him to get up from this like completely immobilized state, he's completely healed. So what does he do? Immediately run to smoke. So Zoro gets to fighting King, right? And King is built very different because he's a Lunarian, known for his exceptional durability. So basically, Zoro gets up to start getting packed again, like Bo's getting cooked. And I'm laughing. I'm enjoying that shit because I'm kind of a hater. But he's getting packed. At one point, he's like upside down, head in the dirt. Like, if I don't do something, it's raps for me, nigga. And I mean it up. I'm on Twitter popping shit too. Like, that's why your boy down for. I'm feeling good about myself. But I didn't learn my lesson the first time because I thought it was raps for him when he left the rooftop, and it wasn't. So that should have taught me something, but it didn't. Whatever. Zoro has a flashback. And if you know anything about anime, you know that no amount of push-ups, sit-ups, laps, suicides, burpees, bench presses, none of that is fucking with a flashback. Like, if I was an anime character, I would keep a diary so I could just like constantly reminisce, so I could just shoot up in power whenever I felt like it, right? Zoro has a flashback to his childhood where an old man explained to him how cursed swords work. And coincidentally, he's using a cursed sword in this fight. That sword is Enma, the magic sword that he was told would constantly drain his haki. So what he's been doing since he received the sword is trying to contain the drain of haki. But that was actually holding him back. What Enma wanted him to do, the will of this cursed blade, was for him to release all of his haki into it so that they could be at full capacity. And when he does that, he unlocks an ability we've only seen goats use, conqueror's coding, right? With that conqueror's coding, he makes quick work of King, like it's raps. He cuts bull wing. King shoots like a magma dragon at him, and Zoro cuts that shit in half. Just smokes bull for real. It's not too much left of the fight once he gets conquerors on all three of his swords, flamed up like Johnny Storm. Like, that was kind of cool, but it was crazy. Now this Zoro that we've seen put down a top tier commander, because King is the first commander of the Beast Pirates, the direct subordinate of the world's strongest creature, the King of Beasts, Kaido. So it doesn't really get better than that as far as pirating goes, other than dropping a Yongo, right? So since Zoro has been shown to be able to deal with a top tier commander level threat in a few solid hits, like I can't stress that enough, he hit him like 4 or 5 times, right? Who else has been shown with that level of power? The only people that come to mind are the admirals, and specifically because, like I said, Zoro cut a magma dragon. So specifically, the Red Dog, Sakazuki, police brutality champion, Fleet Admiral Akainu. Makes me think, what if these two ran into each other, right? Who would win? And I think they have comparable feats. Like if you take a look at both of their best moments, you have Zoro scarring the world's strongest creature, Kaido, and you have Akainu literally punching half the head off the world's strongest man, Whitebeard. That's ironic, right? So let's take a look at what those feats really mean. Kaido is nearly invulnerable. Only those using internal attacks or a special form of internal haki are able to do any significant damage to him. Whitebeard, on the other hand, is a 72-year-old cancer patient. Now, he's a monster, but we are actually given a list of injuries that he took at Marineford, where he actually ended up dying, where he fought Akainu amongst like a plethora of other people. Like, it was ridiculous. It's like, do we really have to teach you this lesson, old man, or whatever they say on SpongeBob, you feel me? Akainu punches half of his face off. But to put that into like perspective, unlike Kaido, who's like basically invulnerable to the average person, Whitebeard was pierced and had his durability broken like hundreds of times, like over 1,000 times definitely, by like fodder marines, right? So my logic is that if a fodder marine bullet, a stab from the average marine soldier, or a cannonball, anything of that capacity is able to damage you, a man such as Akainu, a magma man, should definitely be able to punch half of your head off, right? So I don't really think that Akainu's greatest attack feat stacks up with Zoro's, who managed to scar a man who, after decades of fights, who fought other conquerors users and just a plethora of great fighters, right, has only gotten one scar. Zoro was able to give him a second. So what that tells me is Zoro has the higher attack power of the two. And maybe Akainu can show me something more impressive, but I just haven't seen it. I just beating up an old man, beating up a dragon. That's just the way I see it. I can't really say Zoro beat up a dragon, but he scarred a dragon, and that's insane. Then I take a look at the speed difference between the two, and this is where I feel like Akainu like really lacks, right? Because if you look at Marineford, you have Akainu getting outsped by like fat ass Jinbei, Ace, who's like starved and tortured for 2 weeks, Marco, who like admittedly, like, to be fair, Marco is fast as shit, so that's not really an L. But then even Buggy holding Jinbei, who was holding Luffy while flying, was able to dodge an attack from Akainu. And I just don't see how someone who is so easily outsped will be able to land an attack on Zoro, who was blocking attacks from Kaido before landing Ashura, who hit King in his speed mode where his durability goes down. It's just like, I think King like turned invisible and Zoro still landed an attack on him. So I just don't see how Akainu will be able to land attacks here. And then when you look at the durability of the two, you have Zoro, who leaped in front of a dual Yonko attack. You know, Kaido and Big Mom combined their powers into one attack, and Zoro leapt in front of it before anyone else reacted and took on this blast. Like, it's like a big ass blast. And you know, Law ended up teleporting the supernova, including Zoro, away from the blast. But in between the time Law could move them and Zoro jumped in front, he took the force of this attack and blocked it momentarily, and was still able to scar Kaido. Akainu did take a punch that he wasn't ready for from Whitebeard. Like, old ass Whitebeard snuck up behind him and cracked this shit. Like, folded him too. It was crazy. But he got up, turned around, punched Whitebeard's face off. So I wouldn't say that either of these guys is pushover. Like, neither of them built weak. But Zoro took a double Yonko attack. Akainu took one Yonko attack. So I can't really think of a category where Zoro doesn't have a more impressive feat than Akainu. And to top it all off, he literally cut a magma dragon. Oda is not dumb. Oda is meticulous. So if he shows us Zoro cutting a magma dragon, I think he's fully aware that there's only one other magma user in the verse as far as we know. So what should that tell you?
Oh, come on. Think. Brain blast!
I can't tell you no more if you don't want to believe it, but Akainu does not want to run into Zoro. Thanks for watching. Be on the lookout for more.